Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time doing another Halloween film review, and this one is on Shaun of the Dead. Now, as you know, Shaun of the Dead is a 2004 horror comedy drama film that was directed by Edgar Wright, who was also known for directing films like Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and The World's End. And keep in mind, Shaun of the Dead was supposed to be the first entry in the Three Flavor Cornetto trilogy. The first to follow was Hot Fuzz, and then a few years later, The World's End. Now, keep in mind this film is meant to take some inspiration from Spread, that was also created by Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright. And yes, some of the title and the plot is also meant to be a reference to Night of the Living Dead. So the premise of the film is meant to be about Shaun, who is kind of this down on his luck guy, kind of got his girlfriend Liz that he cares about, as well as dealing with his stepdad, who is hard on him, but does want to try and get him to make an effort. And you've got his mum, who does kind of be a bit doting. So at the same time, you kind of got Shaun living with his friend Ed, who is meant to be this lazy, immature, childish asshole. And you've also got his friend Pete, who tries to be the voice of reason. And I kind of would have liked to have seen Pete be the older brother to Shaun, or him being his half-brother. They really try to go for a brotherly relationship. And throughout the movie, we do see how the zombie pandemic starts. It really starts to kind of show you what it's going to be. At first, it kind of starts to basically go for people running, basically newspapers and stuff being shown, also mainly news footage and everything else. And pretty much after the next day, we see how Shaun and Ed come together to not only rescue their friends, but also to use the pub as a hiding place until things blow over. Now, the film, I would say, is more parodying the Halloween tropes of zombie films. We know what zombie films are like. There is going to be an outbreak. There is going to be a place where the characters will hide. And there will be a lot that the characters will do. But I think the problem that the film has, it has an area it wants to explore. And really, this feels like they really wanted to use the pub as the kind of main theme. And I know the point of the Three Flavored Cornetto trilogy films were meant to have a pub in it. And what's actually interesting, when they got the fence scene, they have Shaun sort of successfully sort of going through the other fences, but not the first one. I think what I did like about Hot Fuzz with Sergeant Angel is how he was able to go through the fences single-handedly. Now, I just think the film Shaun of the Dead, it really wants to explore beyond the pub, but it feels like it doesn't want to. I feel like they had a perfect opportunity to explore beyond it, and I think this is something games like The Rising Dead did better, because with its game in the third one, you had a large city to explore, and I think Shaun of the Dead definitely did this. It wanted to, but failed. And I kind of felt when you've got the other characters, like David, it's clear David is a bit self-aware that he's not perfect, and that he wants Liz to kind of be his Valkyrie. And when you've got Diane, you can tell she only stays with David because she still wants to try and make him a better person. And I just feel the movie lacks what I think people wanted. I would say it is good, but I think it comes across like a really predictable zombie comedy film. I think the point was they could have done a lot of jokes with the zombie tropes. Like, yeah, the characters just walking and the zombies being a bit slower. They could have done that. They could have made jokes about sacrificing the kind of least intelligent one. That could have worked. And really, it feels like it does the same zombie tropes we've seen. I would say it's not the greatest film. I think there was a lot on the floor that I think could have been better. I think while people like Shaun of the Dead, to me this felt really, really poorly handled. And I think the reason why Simon Pegg and Nick Frost did the video during the coronavirus was meant to kind of get fans together for it. But to me, this is the worst entry in the three Flavor Cornetto films. So I feel somewhere Shaun of the Dead feels rubbish. It really tainted itself with a raw taste of cliche zombie tropes. So I think it deserves a thumbs down. Not the greatest, not the best, but it was definitely an alright film, just really poorly handled. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.